Imagine a city built on noise, power, and endless motion. New York. A place where systems feel permanent, where political dynasties seem unshakable, where voices from the margins rarely make it to the microphone, little alone the mayor's seat. And yet someone the establishment never expected just broke through the surface. Mamdani didn't just win an election. He broke a psychological pattern. A pattern the system relies on to survive. Here's the uncomfortable question. Why does one man's victory frighten an entire structure? To understand that, you have to understand the hidden psychology of collective awakening and the brutal, stoic truths that power never wants you to learn. Throughout history, societies operate on an unspoken contract. People obey, systems endure. Voices stay predictable. But every few decades, someone emerges who disrupts that script. Statistics from political research show a clear trend. When trust in institutions collapses to below 30%, outsider candidates rise rapidly. Not just because they promise change. Begins to recognize a simple truth. The traditional system no longer represents them. The Romans feared this pattern. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When the people awaken, the empire trembles." And in modern New York, that tremor just arrived. Mamdani represents not a person, but a shift, a psychological shift. You must understand how systems preserve themselves. Think of the political system as a giant labyrinth, a maze built over decades. Every turn has rules, every door has gatekeepers. And most people give up before reaching the center. But Mamdani did something rare. He walked the labyrinth differently. He broke the predictability code. The establishment thrives when people behave predictably, vote predictably. But Mamdani activated a deep psychological bias. The desire for someone who speaks the unsaid. Systems fear the unpredictable. He tapped into the pain reservoir. Communities hold emotional memory. Generational frustration, ignored suffering. Quiet injustice. When someone names that pain aloud, something unlocks. People follow the one who articulates what they've been forced to swallow. He used Stoic principles unconsciously. Stoicism teaches speak the truth calmly. Stand firm when attacked. Be moved only by reason. These traits create psychological authority. A leader who doesn't react emotionally becomes harder to manipulate. More trustworthy. More stable systems are built to challenge anger. But they cannot counter calm conviction. He represented identity reversal. The system expects outsiders to shrink, to apologize, to wait their turn. When someone refuses to kneel, the entire hierarchy destabilizes. Psychologists call this pattern collapse. The moment when the old narrative breaks, and people suddenly see through the illusion. The turning point wasn't election night. It was the moment the system realized something deeper. Fear was no longer controlling the public. Communities that had been politically silent began speaking. People who never believed that a voice mattered suddenly showed up. The emotional dam broke. And once that happens, there is no going back. This terrified the establishment. Because power relies on apathy. On people staying tired, staying quiet, staying hopeless. Mamdani's rise wasn't the political upset. It was a psychological revolt. Stoicism teaches when a person conquer their fear, they cannot be governed the same way. And that's what truly frightened the system. His victory triggers ripple effects. Other outsiders will try. Communities will expect more honesty. The old political playbook becomes weaker. Younger voters gain confidence. The system is forced to evolve or collapse. But the deepest consequence is internal. People will start questioning the stories. They were told stories about who deserves power, who should stay silent, who gets to lead. Once a mind expands, it never returns to its old size. Here's the Stoic lesson hidden inside this moment. Systems don't change when power shifts. Systems change when people awaken. And the world always fears the awakened. Do you think this victory marks a temporary disruption? Or the beginning of a global psychological shift? Share your thoughts below. Your perspective matters more than you think.